Right, guys. Hope everyone's doing well. So I'm going to go over Solana in a minute because I charted it this morning and I noticed something quite scary about it actually. But only if you're spot holding. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter for us because we make money whether the market goes up or down. But first we'll just go through BTC. Now, BTC's just been trending up since the beginning of April, really. And during this whole move up, we haven't had any kind of a decent pullback. So, like, that gives us an opportunity to get in. Okay, we just consolidated, we pushed up, consolidated, we pushed up, consolidated, pushed up. There's been no sort of significant pullback after each push, for us to get in on a decent fib level. So this is just really sus to me. They've left all these imbalances as well. They've left these fair value gaps as they've pushed up during this whole move. That obviously they need to come back and refill these. So this makes me think that BTC is going to come all the way back down to, at least to 90K, maybe even to the back to the 80s, 84, 85. Um, sorry, let me just let someone in who's in the waiting room. Oh, that's right. Give me a couple of minutes. Yeah, and this is the first time that we've actually changed structure since this move began in April. We've broken these lows here. We've actually created a lower high, and if we drop down to the 4 hour time frame, we've um, we've got this strong resistance here that we actually rejected again. Um, so we struggled to get past that there. We consolidated and then started to sell off. Now, what I would like to see on BTC is a pullback into this balanced price range. Now, I don't know if you've watched the recording that I did. Oh, hold on a minute, because I've recorded a FEG and balanced price range call for Blake for his course. So when he releases that, then yeah, be sure to watch it. So obviously we got two fair value gaps here. This is a balanced price range when you got two fair value gaps of side by side. So if we label that as BPR. So what I would like to see on BTC before continuation down is for us to pull back into this and then we get the sell off because that will give us a nice entry as well, especially if you haven't had a chance to get in on BTC yet. Um, but yeah, if we drop down to the 4 hour time frame, it looks like we are having a slight recovery here. So it would be nice for us to pull back into this BPR and for us to get the short back down at least at least down into this fair value gap here. All right, so we have tapped into it before, but we haven't. I think we haven't taken 50%. So when price takes 50%, it's called consequent encroachment, yeah? So that considers that FEG to be filled. That's why I put a middle line in there because that's 50% level of this fair value gap. So if we get this short from this BPR and we tap into it and take 50%, I'm all for shorting BTC back down to this fair value gap here. Whether we get it or not is another story. We look at USDT.D. Let me just clear this thing up. Go to the daily. Yeah, if we look at USD.D, we've actually done the same. We haven't since since April time when BTC started its run and USD.D began its sell-off. Obviously, it's inversely correlated with crypto. So if USD.D goes down, BTC and the altcoins are going to go up. So this is the first time we've changed structure on USD.D since its sell-off beginning of April, and it's the same for BTC. It's now changed structure. So this is why I think we're in for such a big reversal. But it's just taken such a long time for the market to do it. They've dragged this out. So a lot of impatient traders would have been caught out, blowing accounts, things like that. But it's a game of patience, this trading anyway. So I think once USDT breaks this level, until then, we can still tap into here and roll back over. And there are some fair value gaps down below. This is the last one at 4.1. So that is a possibility that we could just come up to here, and then we get this sell off. We get one final push in the crypto market. Everyone FOMOs in, and then we get the real sell off on crypto. Um, so that is a possibility. That's something to be aware of. Alternatively, if we break above this level and we hold and we start to push up, I mean, crypto's going to sell off bad, man. Crypto's going to sell off bad. We've got no fair value gaps through this price leg here. We've got one there. So that would make sense if we broke through here, held this level, pushed up, then what would happen on BTC is we get the sell off all the way back down to, down to this fair value gaps down here, down to the 80s, right? Because we put in pretty much like a market maker sell model. You got consolidation, push, consolidation, and another push, yeah. So that's the market maker sell model. We've had the reversal at the top, change of structure, and we're starting to head back down. So with a market maker sell model or buy model, price, the target for price to come back to is the first consolidation. So if we come all the way back down to 86, that's crazy, especially if we get the entry up here. And you could even go lower on the leverage, say like 10x, maybe even 5x or something like that, just depends. And you can put your stop loss all the way up here and just target all the way back down to 86K. Then that's a chunky trade. That's a big trade. And that's exactly what has happened on USD.D as well. So you got the market maker sell model on this, and then USD.D, we've got the consolidation, 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 and then we've had the shift in structure and the reversal. Okay, so it's very similar to the Bitcoin chart, but just in reverse. Now, again, when you've got the market maker buy and sell models, you are targeting the original consolidation. So, and that makes sense. You've got BTC targeting the lower fair value gap at the first consolidation, and then you've got USD.D targeting this fair value gap at the first consolidation. So it's all sort of making sense that we are going to get this sell off in crypto. Um, Sorry, let me just let so who's in the waiting room. Are you in, guys? Yeah, sweet. Yeah. So if we do get all the way up here and then we get the sell off, then that's going to be the alt season for me. And I was saying it the other day in the group, like end of the year. Was it end of the year on the 2-day chart for a second? Nah, sort of later, sort of probably like August, September time, I think. Just if we sort of, push up, pull back, push up, pull back, we're going to be sort of end of July, August time. So let's look at USDT on the lower time frame. We'll go to the daily. So we've got that fair value gap there that we've pushed into, rejected again. Now, if we get above this, we'd be looking for shorts for sure on the alts and on BTC. Now, is this all making sense, guys? I'm not going too fast for you, am I? It's all recorded anyway. Um, Now let's look at Solana. We go to the weekly chart. So with Sol, we could put this huge AMD pattern in, yeah? So accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So there's your accumulation, right? Here's your manipulation to take the highs. And you notice that they came back and they reswept this previous weekly high. So they took this weekly high here, swept all that liquidity and then sold off. So this is smart money positioning, yeah? Look how strong this sell-off is. It's just like it's falling off a cliff, right? And you know when it's smart money, you know when smart money's in the market, it's because they produce fair value gaps, right? It just doesn't, the candles don't have a chance to overlap each other. So we've got this fair value gap up here on the, well, actually, you got balanced price range up there. Okay, so you got opposing fair value gaps. So we'll label that as BPR. Now, ideally, it would have been nice to get a retracement up into this BPR, but this sell-off was so it was quite hard, so we didn't actually get that. We've actually instead rejected this fair value gap, okay? Which if we drop down to the daily time frame, it was actually a level of support. Yeah, all through here. So back up to the weekly. Now this is what makes you think that Solana is going to go much lower. Okay, so if we use our trend-based fib extension and we go from the high to the low, and then we pull back to where you would have entered, and then we're looking at the 618 down here. So Solana, I mean, I could potentially see it coming down to like 60, $70. It's crazy, right? Because I see there's ETFs that are going to be approved for Solana, and I see loads of people loading up on it. Um, and then I'm seeing this on the chart, and I'm just like, no way, no bloody way. Am I loading up on Solana at this price? And what normally happens with news is everyone buys in anticipation for the release of the news, and as soon as the news comes out, the market dumps. So it's to buy the news, buy the rumor, sell the news. So I really can see Solana coming back down to here, possibly even to the 50. If we go on the 2 week chart, have we got any fair value gaps down here? Weekly. Yeah, we've got one there. This one has already been filled, but this was the consolidation before that big push. So yeah, I would say around the 60, $70 mark. Um, and then if we drop down to the daily, let's get rid of this for a second. Yeah, drop down to the daily. We've got this head and shoulders pattern here, and we've got all of these relative equal lows. Okay, so there's a lot of liquidity resting under these lows, a lot of liquidity. So there's your head and shoulders, your left shoulder, your right, your head, your right shoulder. Um, Again, so if on the BTC chart it's printed a fair value gap, which I'd like to see us pull into, or BPR, and then we can take the short, and then the same here on Solana, you've got the opposing fair value gaps here. So you've got BPRs across Sol, BTC as well. Um, it'd be nice to get the pullback up into here to get the short, and then a sell-off taking out all of these lows, which screams out, that's a higher probability to me. Whether we get that entry or not, I don't know. It just depends what USDT.D does later on when the market starts opening again. So, but that just makes most sense to me. I really don't see Solana getting all the way back up here before the sell-off. I think it's going to push up into here, maybe even come into this one, and then we get the true sell-off. So Solana is definitely something I'm watching at the minute for this big sell-off all the way back down to 60, $70. And if we get that, that'd be fantastic. So yeah, I guess we just have to wait and see. I'm not really looking to just hop into anything at the minute. Again, just waiting for the levels to be tapped into, and then we'll reassess. Here's D.D. Yeah. And that's pretty much what I wanted to go over, guys. Is this all sort of making sense? Yeah. So you've got BTC's printed that fair value gap on the daily. Um, yeah, BTC's printed that BPR on the daily, which I'd like to see us tap into. So has Solana, which I'd like to see us tap into, and then we can get the short on both BTC and Solana. Whether we get it or not is, we don't know. We just have to see. Then let's just go over. I'll tell you what, we'll go over the AAVE trade that we took back during the week because that was CPI, wasn't it? I'm still in AAVE actually. So that is there. I'm still in this. Let's have a look at the daily. So this was pre-CPI news. So this consolidation was before CPI last week. So when you've got news events coming up, um, and then you've got like a major POI above it or below the consolidation, like example, a fair value gap order block or something like that, and you see the consolidation below the POI, it gets me excited because you know that they're planning to make a move to run into that POI before reversing, and that's exactly what happened here. And then we've got these equal highs here as well. Yeah, so we've got these equal highs. We basically front run this fair value gap. So when they front run a POI, it means they push up near it and then sell off. And that all that is just to induce or to, just entice traders to open positions early because it tests your patience. But we didn't, did we? So we waited for CPI to come out um to wick up into this fair value gap because imagine if, we front run this fair value gap, you get in short, you think, oh, okay, yeah, we're going to sell off, and you're in short, stop loss above the gap, and then the market goes sideways, and then the news wicks you out, and then you get the true move. Okay. So that's why it's so important to wait for the fair value gap's 50% level to be taken, because that's when you know it's been mitigated, it's been filled, right? So this was pre-CPI, then we got the true sell-off. Um, Let's have a look on the lower time frame because that's where the entry was. So you get the equal highs here. That was taken into the fair value gap, retraced, came back up for another retest, and then sold off. So I mean that there was the breaker structure on this one. Yeah, so that was your market structure shift through that one. Obviously, you've got this little sort of trend line here on the 15 minute. And then we broke through, closed below, and then there was your entry there. Let's have a look on the 5 minute. Yeah, same thing. There is your change of structure. And the change of structure, the candle that breaks through is normally the one that leaves the fair value gap, yeah? So that would have been your entry up here. But we didn't quite get that retracement. I entered early because I just, because I've traded these before. You also got this fair value gap up here, or BPR. So you got the fair value gap on the left, fair value gap on the right, push up, sell off. Right. So when price hits POI's fair value gaps on higher time frames, takes the 50% level and then retraces, you're just dropping down to the 5 minute time frame just to have a look for an entry and a change in market structure, get the high probability trades. Because when this happens, this is smart money getting into the market. So if you're opening, let's just say for example, you're opening this short position, you're opening a short position alongside smart money. So you're going to get a quick run in your direction because you're trading alongside the smart money. You see? So fair value gaps are where smart money's looking to get in. Can you share this chart in the chat? Yeah, man, I'll share everything in the chat. And then obviously you've got the recording as well, so it explains everything for you. All right, so I'm expecting AAVE to come all the way back down to that daily fair value gap because again, a bit like Solana, you got the accumulation, manipulation, and then you get the distribution phase. So the AMD pattern as well on that one. So I'm really expecting AAVE to come all the way back down to at least maybe 190. Um, maybe if we come down into back inside this range, and then we have a little bit of a recovery there, and then we drop down further. Again, if that happens, then I'll let you guys know so you can get in. But this would only be valid if this candle here pushed down, closed, left a fair value gap between that candle and the next one. Let's just say, for instance, that, yeah. So if this daily candle pushed down, closed, opened another one, then it'd print a fair value gap. And then all we have to do is wait for 50% to be taken, and then we take the short back down, stop loss above here. Yeah. Wait for the change in market structure on the lower time frame and take the short back down there. Now that's a huge trade. That's like a 400% trade on 20x. Crazy risk to reward. It's like seven and a half R. And that's even when you give your stop loss a bit more above the gap, yeah. So I'll keep you guys updated on what happens on this. If we break through, close, create a fair value gap, then obviously we'll have to wait for the retracement. But it could be a few days, could be a week or so, but that's fine. We just wait for the trades to come to us. Um, Another good example I wanted to show you was ADA. Is that the daily or was it the 4 hour? Let's try and find it. Oh yeah. So look, that one, that fair value gap there. And then if we drop down to the lower time frames, go to 15 minute and just see what we can see there. Yeah, it's a very similar what happened with Arve, you see. They tend to front run the fair value gap, so they just tap into it. They won't take 50%, they'll just tap into it and then they reverse, right? So you jump into a short position, you haven't got the patience to wait for the 50% to be taken. You jump in the short too early, and then price comes back and takes 50%. So it's important just to wait for the 50% level to be taken, and then you get the true run. Because yeah, this trade would have played out for you because you got the stop loss above the fair value gap, but with RV and CPI, it would have taken you out. So it's just not worth it. Right. Now, if you drop down to probably a 5 minute time frame, then you probably get a nice entry within these candles here. Alternatively, waiting for the change in market structure is what you want to wait for. So that there was your change in market structure. Close below these level below these lows. And then that was the fair value gap there. Okay, push back up, and then take the short, and it's sold off like pretty quick. This is smart money getting in, yeah. So if you're trading alongside these guys, your trade's just gonna run, and you just it's gonna. So this is how you want to be trading alongside the smart money. Crazy risk to reward on them ones. and it gives you confidence as well. Okay, so like you can get in there, use a tight stop loss, and you can target all the way back down these lows. Target these lows down here. So that's a crazy trade, that one. It's like a yeah, it's a crazy one. Do you see what I'm getting at, guys? Yeah, with the fair value gaps. This one, 4 hour chart. So no, this one was the daily. Well, the fair value gap was on the daily, and then you're looking for the market structure shift on the lower time frames. I mean, yeah, look, you did get it on the 4 hour. We broke these lows here, closed, and then if you drop down to the lower time frame, then you do get your entry. Yeah, break a structure, broke them lows, close below, tap into a fair value gap, and away you go. All right. So first thing you want to do when you get to your chart is mark off your daily and weekly fair value gaps. If you if you go to style, when you draw your boxes, you click style and you click add middle line. Okay. So that will add the middle line 50% inside your box when you mark your fair value gaps off. And then just set your alerts inside the fair value gaps, and that's all you need to do. Just wait for your alerts to go off, and then come back, reassess, and then look for an entry on a lower time frame. You don't need to be looking at the charts all the time. Just trying to force an entry. You can just sit back and just wait for the market to do its thing and wait for it to come to you. Um, so what was that? That was 11th of June at 3 p.m. on the 15-minute time frame. 11th of June, 3 p.m. time frame. And that was the daily. Just want to see what USDT.D was doing at that time. 11th of June, 3 p.m. Yeah, we didn't quite make that fair, but we got an order block here. So before this candle here, you got the down close candle, and that was your order block there. So on the same day and time that ADA hit that fair value gap, change structure and reversed, USD.D hit this order block, change structure and reversed. You see? So if you mark your fair value gaps on an order blocks on USD.D and set your alerts, and you do it on, let's just say BTC or on your altcoin chart, and you set your alerts, you get a crazy high probability trades on your hands there. USDT.D tapping into a POI. Same with ADA. This pushed up, ADA dumped. That's all there is to it. That's just how these markets move. They just move from liquidity to liquidity. Fair value gaps, order blocks, equal lows, equal highs. That's just where all the liquidity is resting. All right. You can unmute yourself, guys, if you want, and we can have a little chat, ask some questions if you like, or you can drop them in the chat. And that's pretty much it. I'll put the Solana chart in the chat and let you know what I'm seeing, and same with BTC. I just don't see I just don't see this market turning crazy bullish, you know? It's been bearish market structure this whole way down. This is the first time we've changed structure here. I mean, unless this is manipulation, some kind of fake out, and then they roll over here. I just don't see this market turning crazy bullish. So I don't hold any altcoins at the moment. All good, Hayden. All good. Are you quitting? You're not going back to work, eh? God, who's going to Thailand? I'm gonna try and make it. I'm gonna make it, I think. End of August. We'll do like a little live event as well. Do some like sort of in-person charting and stuff like that. It'd be good. And then we can go and have some fun. Yeah. Oh, excellent. Not going back. Yeah. Sweet. All right, guys, I'm gonna hop off. But I hope you grasped all of that and I've made it clear. If there's any questions, just let me know. But yeah, I'm looking for USDT to get all the way back up here, and then we get a crazy sell-off on USDT.D, and then that is our alt season. Because I personally think that this was all purposefully done to make people think, oh yeah, the bull runs in, let's all load up, spend all our money buying crypto. Oh no, it's reversed. Do you see where I'm coming from? So that's why we just look at the data on the charts. It doesn't lie, you know. All right, guys, thanks for hopping on. I'll post the recording and Anastasia can put it in the masterclass Facebook group, and then I'll post the charts in the chat. Yeah. Peace out. See you soon.